Welcome back, my dear students. I am going to discuss on the general characteristics and classification of phylum Platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes are acoelomate, dorsoventrally flattened. Due to dorsoventrally flattened body, their name flatworm. They are bilaterally symmetrical and triploblastic animal. They have ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm, and a functional third germ layer, that is a mesoderm, that produces a mesenchyme parenchyma that fill the space between the epidermis and gastrodermis. Typically, they bear anterior eye spot, chemoreceptive organ, and brain. The digestive system is absent or present. The intestine may be branched, and anus is absent. Respiratory and circulatory system are absent. Protonephridial tubule with a terminal flame cells are present as a excretory organ. Reproductive systems are complex and typically hermaphrodite in nature. The phylum Platyhelminthes includes 4 classes. Among 4 classes, Turbellaria, Trematoda, Monogenia, and Cestoidea, the Turbellaria is free-living, and certainly the group from which the ancestor of the other 3 parasitic classes, that is the Trematoda, Monogenia, and Cestoidea, that are origins. And if you see the classification scheme of the Platyhelminthes as per the 6th edition of Edward D. Rupert and Robert D. Barnes, the book is Invertebrate Zoology, the phylum Platyhelminthes is classified into 4 classes: Turbellaria, Trematoda, Monogenia, and Cestoidea. These are the positions, maximum portions occupied by the Digenea and the Trematoda. This is a Turbellaria position, this is a Cestoidea, and few are the Monogenia. Now, the Turbellaria is coming from the Greek word turbella, mean stirring, that are the free-living form and usually non-parasitic in nature. Body unsegmented, covered with a cellular or syncytial epidermis, bearing numerous cilia. A characteristic feature of the Turbellaria is the presence of numerous gland cells. And the Turbellaria that possesses a large number of the paired secretory cells, that is a duo gland, and among duo gland characteristic feature that is located on the ventral surface and opening to the exterior, one cell of the each type that is secreted a glue, while the other cells that secretes a chemical that breaks the attachment of the substrate. And the body surface that bears numerous membrane-bounded rod-shaped secretion, that is known as rhabdoids. You see here, that is one kind of the rhabdoids, and that release a thick mucus coat, possibly in response to attempt predation or desiccation. Turbellaria have a wide variety of the locomotory adaptation that range from ciliary grinding to muscular creeping, swimming, peristalsis, and other movements. Digestive system usually consists of digestive cavity or the gut, which is typically a blind sac. Presence of a protonephridia provided with multiciliated terminal cell. Statocysts are the most conspicuous of the Turbellarian sense organ, but not found in all orders. They are hermaphrodites in several marine species. The developing embryo give rise to a short-lived microscopic free-swimming larval stage, that is Muller larva. These are the example: Planaria, Dugacia, and Convoluta. Now next class, Trematoda. Trema mean whole and eidos mean form. Usually they are the ectoparasite or endoparasite, and they are commonly known as fluke. The body shape usually leaf-like, dorsoventrally flattened. The body is never segmented. The outer body wall bears a unciliated syncytial tegument. Mostly hermaphrodite, ovary single, but testes 2 or many. Now, class Trematoda is divided into 2 subclasses, subclass Digenea and subclass Aspidogasteria. Digenea, di mean 2 and gena mean bird. So the development is indirect. The life cycle always include at least 2 infective stages. So one host, that is a primary host, and another host, that is a intermediate host, and that is needed to reach the final host. That accounts the name Digenea, that's meaning 2 generation, that are commonly endoparasite of all classes of the vertebrates, and they possesses a well-developed oral sucker surrounding the mouth, and many but not all have a mid-ventral or posterior ventral sucker that is known as acetabulum. The digenean body is covered by a non-ciliated cytoplasmic syncytium, the tegumen, overlying consecutive layer of circular, longitudinal, and diagonal muscles are present. Among the digenerative trematode, each fertilized egg generally gives rise to a single free-living ciliated larva. That larva is Miracidium larva. You see here, that's a Miracidium larva. The female reproductive system usually consists of a single ovary and an oviduct that leads into a small sac that is known as ootype, and unicellular gland cells collectively called Mihalis gland that open into the ootype, and many secrete capsule components. This is the example Fasciola hepatica, and this is a cystosoma. Now, another subclass, Aspidogasteria, it is also known as Aspidobothria. They are the endoparasites in the gut of fishes and reptiles. Oral sucker absent, no oral sucker. Large ventral sucker, you see here, large ventral sucker that divided into so many septa and that forming a row of suckers. The digestive tract contains a single intestinal cecum. Intestine is not bifurcated. The example is Aspidogaster, Cotylogaster. Now, monogenia, mono mean one and gena mean birth. The monogenial life cycle is different from digenia, as there is no intermediate host. An egg gives rise to one adult worm, hence the name monogenia. That means one generation. Mostly ectoparasite of aquatic vertebrates, that is found in the skin or the gill of the fishes. The posterior attachment organ, that is a haptor that includes sucker and complex of the sclerites of the hook structure. The head lacks oral sucker, but adhesive glands are present. The monogenial life cycle is different from the digenia. I have already mentioned, because the egg gives rise to one adult worm. There is no intermediate host. And presence of inconspicuous protonephridia that consist of scattered terminal cells and their collecting tubules. And monogenia complete a life cycle through a ciliated larva. That larva is Ontomiracidium larva that bearing three bands of cilia, and usually 1 to 2 pairs of eye. These are the example. That's a Coriocotyle. You see here Coriocotyle. That's a Polystomoidella. Another example. Another Diplojune, Dactylogyrus, and Gyrodactylus. These are the examples. And last class, Cestoidea. Cestoidea coming from Greek word kestos mean girdle and eidos mean form, that are the commonly known as tapeworm. They are endoparasites of vertebrates inhabiting various regions of the host digestive tract. Body covered with a syncytial tegumen provided with special modification associated with nutrient uptake because they lack a digestive tract. The outer plasma membrane, this is the outer plasma membrane of the syncytial tegumen, is thrown into projection. That's from the microtrachea. That is one kind of the microvilli. The ribbon-like body that is divided into scolex. You see here, this is scolex, that is the neck, and then the trunk region, the scolex, that is adapted for the attachment to the host body. And neck is very narrow, and the trunk or stobula is segmented, and that constitutes most of the worm's body. And each of the trunk segment is called a proglotid. That is a proglotid. Scolex, that is an attachment organ that bears sucker, hooks for attachment to the host body. And each proglotid that contain complete set of sex organs. An egg develops into a ciliated, free-swimming oncosphere that bearing 6 small hooks. Among eucestodes, an oncosphere typically produces a single resting individual that is known as Cysticercus larva or bladder worm, whereas the lycopole larva with 10 hooks among Cestoidea, that is common. These are the example: beef tapeworm, Tinea saginata, Tinea solium, Doctecom, Echinococcus granulosus, Amphelina, Gyrocotyle, Acanthopectium. These are the reference books: Invertebrate Zoology, Edward E. Rupert, Richard S. Fox, and Robert D. Barnish, and the Biology of the Invertebrates, John F. Echenick. Thank you.